sensing hope is a new day dawning for the home arcade community. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel on another episode of This Week, the show where we talk about what happened this week in the home arcade community. What is going on, everybody? Episode 116. I'm excited to be here. 115 episodes in the books. It's kind of awesome. It's kind of special. We're going to keep on rolling, though. We're not slowing down. We're not stopping. Lots to discuss, lots to talk about, lots going on in the home arcade community. Some of it's been negative recently, but some of it, I think we just need to look at it in a different light. Maybe close one eye and take another look. And I think that there's actually some hope on the horizon. Perhaps we're going to discuss that a little bit tonight. Excited, NFL season's kicking off. My Cowboys, yes, are already eliminated from the playoffs, but I'm still going to watch them anyway. They're going to be starting here in about 20 minutes, but we're going to get to, we're going to at least have a good hour-long show here, so I'm not going to miss much. Maybe I only miss a few interceptions from my quarterback. Who knows? But this is why we have alcohol tonight. I'm drinking Jefferson's. We're still in the Jefferson's. This bottle's getting a little bit light. Once again, going to have to go to something a little bit different. I got to stock up. I got to get a box. I got to fill that box with multiple bourbons because Cleveland is coming up. The Cleveland Gaming Classic is coming up soon, and just a couple weeks actually. And it's going to be really exciting to get together with other goofball YouTubers such as myself, and also to meet some of you out there. It's going to be really awesome. I've been looking forward to it. It's a shame it only happens once a year, but it seems like every September we get together, and it's awesome. It really is a fun time. And yeah, so that's what's in my glass. Let's talk about what's in the poll. On the poll? In the chat. Let's say it that way. There's a poll question in the chat. Every single week here on the This Week Show, we talk about stuff, and we have a poll that corresponds to the stuff in which we are discussing. The poll question is pretty simple. I want to let you know, maybe it needs a little bit of explanation. So the poll question is simply this: what should the entry-level arcade one-up be? I'm not talking about like casino-cades and candy-cades and, couch-cades and all the other cades. The actual 3/4 scale and up arcade. What should the entry level be? Should we be even considering some of these other options? So here are your four options. Number one is going to be the entry level. The number one cab. The base level should be a 599 XL. No more 3/4. We're all done. There's no room. Nobody wants them. Done. So if that's what you think, go ahead and vote for that. Or should that entry level be the 599 Deluxe? Same price, but a Deluxe. We like the form factor. We like the Deluxe. We like the 3/4 scale. Some people are just in love with the 17-inch monitor. I don't hate the 17-inch monitor within it's got to be applied in the proper way. So there's that. Your third option is going to be a 499 Legacy Deluxe. So it's the Legacy cabs that they turned into the Deluxes. It's the first Deluxes. Deluxe is the plural of Deluxes. The Legacy Deluxes. Should that be where they start? Don't waste time with anything else, but the 499 Deluxe is where they should start. Or number four, the last option is going to be the 299 Classic. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. Is that an appropriate starting point? Should that be the entry level? Is it okay to have those? Is the price point what you like? Is the size and the form factor and all that? Is that what you like? So let me know what you think. Four options: 599 XL, no 3/4; 599 Deluxe, Legacy Deluxe at 499, or the 299 Classic. We got 65 votes. Jump in there. Let your voice be heard. I want to get as many votes as possible. I want to know where everybody's at. We've talked about this a couple different ways. We've talked about, listen, I'm tired of 3/4. Just give me XL. Now, when you do that, that means you're starting at 599. I was of the opinion, I think last week I talked about it, and I think I settled on, keep the 299, peasant versions. But beyond that, everything else should be XL. So that's one way to look at it. So where do you think the entry level should be with Arcade One Up? Should they price themselves out of the market and go way high? Or should they keep some of those smaller, lower cost options for new people coming into the hobby? So jump in there. You got four choices. Let your voice be heard. I want to know where everybody falls on this. I think I know where I'm going to be. Pretty sure you probably know where I'm going to be too, but I want to know where everybody else is at. I want to know what you're thinking, because we're going to be talking about it later on in the show. So we talked about the poll question. We talked about what's going on in the home arcade space. I did want to talk briefly about what happened last week. Last week after the show, me and my wife, it was the Monday, I guess, we had Labor Day off. And me and my wife took my second born son. We took him to MEPS in Louisville, and he joined the Navy. He actually shipped out that following Tuesday, and he's 21, so he's not right out of high school. But I have a second son now he's going to embark on military service. He's going to do 4 years in the Navy starting out. We'll see what happens. He may re-enlist. I don't know. My oldest son did do 4 years in the Army. And I also did 4 years in the Army too. So it's a proud tradition. And another Fox is in the military. So that was moving. That was, I don't care how old your kids are. It pulls on your heartstrings a little bit. It was tough to let him go, but he's up there and he's having a interesting time for sure. He's up in Chicago. So just want to salute everybody who had kids that served. If you've served yourself, I know we got 9/11 coming up. A lot of heavy hearts, and I think it's important to just maybe acknowledge some of the people that are still signing on the dotted line after all that craziness is going on. So I drink to you. So we talked about what's going on. The poll question, we talked about that. We talked about what's in the glass. Okay, let's talk about who's actually in the chat responding to the poll question. A lot of you have jumped in to say hello. The first one, new record coming in. I think this is probably 2 minutes after I actually posted the live stream. So quick on the trigger. Game Broker 84 says, happy Sunday all. Can't wait for the show. Always love to end Sundays with your show. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here all the time. I really do appreciate you. And JP Wiggs says, Fox, the Cowboys are on tonight. I will catch the replay. Great show as always. That's not a bother. That's not a problem at all. Watch the Cowboys, and then win or lose. It's an important game, actually. I know it's the first game, but we got to see what they're going to do against the Giants. Divisional game. I don't know. I'm not really optimistic. I don't know what we're getting with Dak. But fellow Cowboys fan, thank you so much for stopping by and saying hi. Go Cowboys. Kevin Clausen says, yes, I will watch the replay as well. American football triumphs over everything, including family. Well, I'm not going to judge your value system, but, really? More than family? Hey, it is what it is. I understand. And, I really get it. It rings true. Also, another thing that I get that rings true is a $2 super chat. This one actually comes from Kevin Clausen, says, but nothing trumps another $2 super chat from Kevin Clausen. Going to go ahead and roll this into his second super chat that was right below it. $3 super chat for a total of $5. I went to, not college, but I went to public school. There you go. Math is paying off. 2 + 3 does equal 5. Can I kill the queen, please? While I am here to grant wishes, however small and narrow-minded. Here you go. She had to go. The queen is dead. If you played the game, she's actually not dead yet. Spoiler alert, I know. Beach Native 78 says, what's up, Foxy and chat? Stoked for tonight's stream. You're always my favorite part of Sunday. Smash the like button, peoples, y'all, yo. Hashtag Fox Nation. You are my favorite part of Sundays. How about that? Huh? Let me throw that compliment right back at y'all. Appreciate it. Rights Retro Arcade says, enjoy Sunday without catching one of the best streams in home arcade. Inconceivable. I also got to do something pretty cool. My wife took me to the Cincinnati Orchestra, where we actually watched The Princess Bride. And, while the orchestra played the soundtrack, and it was incredibly fun. You had a auditorium full of nerds like me that love The Princess Bride. So laughing and cheering and booing at all the appropriate times. And then the conductor of the orchestra was really she was actually up on her knowledge, or her Princess Bride knowledge. So it made for a great experience. I'm going to say that's the best way to see that movie for sure. It was really awesome. We even had kids, some younger girls dressed as Buttercup, which is awesome because that means their mom or dad is sharing that movie with them. So it was really cool. So that was a very, very fun time. It was a thoughtful gift from her for sure. Dan Z says, Ed, 19K Fox, hello there, Fox, wink, punch. Always look forward to the Sunday show. I thank you so much for continuing to look forward to the Sunday show. It really appreciates the show. appreciates it. I appreciate it too, but the show is its own entity. It's weird. It has a mind of its own. Gotham City Arcade says, "Hey, Battle, just checking in tonight. I'm looking forward to today's topics. Thank you so much. Hopefully, everybody will like today's topics because I think that it's I think it's a positive spin that we need to counterbalance some of the negative. We got to look at everything. The glass tonight is going to be half full for sure." Jason, Little Alien says, "Happy Sunday. Catch you all tonight." Absolutely. These comments are coming in at like 1:00 in the afternoon. So that's why they're saying see you tonight. Janine Harris, Miss Harris, how the hell are you? Good to see you. Can we get some new cabinets with new games for November from Arcade One Up with nice prices? Not too much to ask, just something new at a decent price. I think that's what really, at the end of the day, that's what we're all asking for sure. Constorm Entertainment, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? He says, good morning, even though it's 2 p.m., but depending on where he lives, it could have still been morning for sure. Jay is in the house saying, a new day dawning for Arcade One Up. Seriously? They have a lot of goofy ideas that they throw against the wall to see if they stick. Most are poorly thought out or poorly executed. So we'll see. We absolutely will see. And you know what else we'll see? We'll see another $5 super chat coming in. This one comes from Carlos Sanchez. It looks like tonight I'm the first with the super chat. Fox, you know what to do. You're right. I know what to do. I'm well practiced. I'm well versed. You deserve it. You asked for it. Here you go. You got to go somewhere. You know where it is. To the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Crazy old Maurice is in the house saying soccer game starts at 7 or else I'd join you. Good evening to all, and to all a good night. It's Christmas. I'll say. I'll catch the replay. Stay crazy, folks. Absolutely crazy, Maurice. Thank you so much for stopping by, buddy, and leaving a message. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate when everybody, you take the time to come by and drop a message, even though you can't watch me live. It's awesome. And I know selfishly, you just want to see your comment get read. That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to facilitate that for sure. Shannon Zahn is in the house saying, hey, Fox, you are my favorite Sunday event. Thank you so much. Competing with football, that's high praise. Looking forward to another great show. Your insight and discussions are the best on YouTube. I am particularly interested in your subject matter tonight. Thank you so much. The best, once again, high praise. I think about it a lot. I do spend some time on the show, at least a couple hours, putting together slides and thinking about some of the things that I want to talk about. Now, are they the best? Maybe not, but they are. I spent time. It doesn't always mean that they're good, but I do put time in as well. Cobretti, Kai, in the house. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Hey, yo, 19K Fox. Arcade Chat is the best way to cap off the weekend. Well, that and a stiff drink. Thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate it. Checking in with a Trend Fanatic. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Fox. Made it through my first week back to work. Hey, awesome. That's awesome, dude. Slowly picking up where I left off. That's cool. The Z got me to work going past half on the temperature gauge. Damn, dude. Take it easy. Take it easy. You don't want to blow that motor. But it's been bleeding hot lately. LOL. See you soon. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. Stick with it. You'll get it figured out eventually. Or maybe you'll win the lottery and all these problems will vanish. Well, at least the monetary problems for sure. Boo2 and Duck says, Foxy. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Show Gecko. Sup, Fox? Just enjoying my Miller Lite and watching the show. I know you like your whiskey, but will you ever drink tequila on the show? Bottoms up. I will do that if requested. And now that I've been requested, I will. Maybe we change it up a little bit. Maybe we don't have a bourbon. Maybe we change it up and we try different drinks. Why not? Have a little glass of something special, something different. I'm open to suggestion. I'm easily influenced. It's sad. Carlos has smashed the like. XLs only for me. 19K Foxtrot. Yes, a lot of people are just at the point now where like we've moved on. Some of us have been in this hobby so long that we're just kind of bored. We're kind of just let's just go on. Let's just move on. Let's just move on and go to XL. And I get it. It would not break my heart if all they came out with was XLs. That's fine. I'd even deal with some rehashes if they're giving us XL versions of those cabs. That's fine. Patman XL, for example. But we have to remember the people that are just getting into this hobby, just starting out. $299 might be a better price point for them. So you got to think. We have to think of others, Carl. I want to be selfish. I don't want to think of just myself, but perhaps it would make a little more sense if we considered other people. But yeah, XL, baby. XL. Evening, ladies and gents. This comes from Tammy G. Hope everyone had a great weekend before it's back to the grind. Absolutely. Tammy, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you're having just a killer weekend as well, wrapping up a killer weekend as well. Gallagher Guy, 88. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hey, Fox, got some Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch for my 5-year anniversary from my brother. If you have not had this bourbon, you got to find some. It's amazing. I'll check into it for sure. Actually, I think I was trying to find some of that this weekend. Didn't have a lot of luck, so I just went back to the old standby, the old reliable for sure. Let's go. We got Jason is in the house saying, "Hey Fox, how you doing? Cheers, Jason. Cheers. Just want another reason to get a drink for sure. Let's go with Toxin says, "Ooh, Daddy." We'll go with that. Okay. I'm not going to read anything into that at all. Saying Spirits says this is where the Dallas live stream is tonight, right? No. we're gonna wrap it up promptly at 9-ish, and so we can all get to the game. Burger Bob says, "Hey, y'all. Good to see you." Bob, Burger, as you were. H8 on JO3 Collectible Chronicles. There we go. What's going on, Fox? Bring on the knowledge. Well, I have limited, but what I got, it's all yours. It's all yours. Faux show. Scrolling down here, MSU Rich says, "Good evening, everyone. Good to see you." Nova Sonic, how you doing? Hi, Fox. Good to see you. Let me scroll down here. Arcade Fury. Rage? No. Fury. Good morning. It's XL or no? No Mo. No Mo. XL or no Mo. That's the official position from Arcade Fury. His Fury is focused on anything non-XL for sure. Bob, how the hell are you, buddy? Good to see you. Dinner time. I'll be back after. Sounds good. Swing by. I'll love to see you then, man. Random One says, "What up, Fox? Nothing, just chilling, kicking it as I do on Sunday nights." We are actually, this comment was at 8:04. So yeah, everybody is chiming in. I think we're almost up to speed. Going to scroll down just a little bit. Yeah, we had Right Circuit. We had Nova Sonic, the real Zim, not to be confused with the the artificial Zim. I bit my tongue. What's up, guys? How you doing? Good to see you. Great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. And Travis, the poll won't let me vote. It is still active. Did you vote already? Maybe? I don't know. Try it again. Try. Be diligent. Do what you can. Your voice must be heard. I got to have that input. I got to have it. Also, another thing I got to have is support. Great support from great people. And a $10 super chat. This one comes to us from Chicago Retro Ranger, the Chicago Retro Ranger, Ezekiel. For those who don't know, what's up, brother? We're celebrating today my daughter's 5th birthday. Have a great show, buddy. Cheers. Oh, man. So my youngest is 16. 5. You know, I know when they were 5, I was stressed out, and things were going on. But if I could have a day, if I could live a day where all of my boys were about that age, where the middle one was 5, so that means my youngest one was he was just born. So maybe when he was 6. Anyway, you get my point. To live in a day where they were all young, to just be there and to feel that and absorb that, knowing what you know now, that's what I would do with a Back to the Future time machine. I'd go back just to that, and then I'd probably have to smack myself on the head and hide me in a closet somewhere and just exist and be me in that space. It'd be pretty awesome. That would be really cool. Thank you so much for your super chat, buddy. Really do appreciate you. And you know what you're getting, fellow Dragon Ball Z fan? Here you go.
Can't you do any better? This is the Overlord!
Headshake TV's in the house talking about his Rams. Go, go, go. As long as we're not playing you, I'm fine with it. I'm good. Everything's good. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping in and chatting and all that good stuff. We are trying to here. Whoa, we got a celebrity in the house. We have a celebrity. Hey, any updates on that Unico? You mean that Unico right there or the one next to it? The 19 or the 26? Well, unfortunately, no updates so far. The latest update is that they are working on the firmware. I think that's the last official thing that we heard. How they're going to deliver that firmware update to us. There's not like a USB port on the back, so it's not going to be like a thumb drive. I think that they could just send out new PCBs and then you send yours back. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do it. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. As far as the 19-inch goes, there you go. A review will be coming out relatively soon. I got to travel next week to fill you in on the 19-inch, so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on with the 26 and the 19. But that you can see even with the blurry image on the camera, that if that would format, if I could see all of my cruising and all of my world on that cabinet, if they could get that image correct, it looks great. It looks really good. The picture looks really good. I'm not saying it's high def. I know the resolution isn't quite what they said it was originally, but it's a great looking replacement. And because of my expert installation, it doesn't seem that bad. I've got some depth going on that I'll outline further on or later on in that review for sure. But unfortunately, man, I'm sorry, there's just nothing else going on for sure. CAG also is dropping some knowledge here, at least his preferences. And XL 1-ups are probably best at this point. They keep re-releasing them over and over. Why not just skip to the best form factor? If you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Frieza. Why wouldn't you just go right to your final form? Why would you go through all those other silly forms? They don't make any sense. I mean, your power level goes up, sure, but you look goofy. Your final form was so much better. I agree. XL, I mean, rehashes should not be three-quarter rehashes. If you're going to rehash, the rehash should be the XL version, and that's it. Final form, done, and then you can have the battle, and then Goku and Frieza can fight for 97 episodes, and it'll be great. Sorry. Letting my geek flag fly tonight for sure. Whoa, easy. Logan, we're all friends here. Put those things away. Hey, all, hope everyone is well. We're doing well, buddy. We absolutely are doing well. Trying to just get it going. The Nerd Jock podcast is going on. He's here. He's wanting to see what's going on. Like, he's not going on. We're going on, and he's trying to see what's going on. Did I make that vague enough for you? Hey, 19K, late to the party. No, you are right on time. Party. Got you. For sure. I really do appreciate everybody in the chat. It's awesome. It's humbling. Much like another super chat coming to us, a $5 super chat from Miss Harris. You know you don't have to do this. Happy birthday week. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Happy birthday week 916. Just want some good new games. I want to know what is going on with Countercades. I'm with you. Absolutely. The Countercades for me was always the other form factor that made sense. You had the 3/4 scale cabs, XL, the stand-up versions, right? But then the only other one that really made sense to me were the Countercades. It was really small enough to still provide the full-size arcade controls, the 8-inch screen. I wish it was a 10-inch, but to me, that made more sense than the Partycades and anything else. I'm with you. I've always been a fan of the Countercades. They're really cool. They just make sense to me. And if they could really nail down a one-player version, I mean, the two-player version was pretty good too. But if they could really square away that single-player version, they keep going back and forth. And, the latest single-player didn't have a lit marquee. It's weird. I don't know what they're doing. But if they could figure that out, I mean, you could rehash all your cabinets, but in Countercade form. And I think you could make a ton of money. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Got to give you a little bit of something special. From one femme fatale to another. Here you go. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, for super chatting, for regular chatting, for all the chats. Are super. Make sure you go ahead and vote in the poll. Just for a quick reminder before we get started, the poll question is this. It's simply this. Simple? I don't know. What should the entry-level arcade 1-up be? Should they just start with a $599 XL, no more 3/4? Should they start with a $599 Deluxe, a $499 Legacy Deluxe, or a $299 Classic? Jump in there, 150 votes. Let's jump it. Let's get it way up above 200. That would be awesome. Let me know what you think about that in that poll question. If you're not watching this live, just tell me in the comment section, vote then, and then that way we'll try to tabulate it. And if nothing else, it'll give me a better idea of where everybody's head is at. I barely know where my head is at, but let's go ahead and kick it off. Let's go ahead and start with the very first topic. Arcade 1-Up Classics. This could be construed as a mixed bag, but I think that this could be signaling something to us. This could be signaling that Arcade 1-Up, despite some of their, decisions that are questionable, prices that could be questionable, I am going to go ahead and just tell you right now, I think this is Arcade 1-Up actually listening to us. Now, what am I talking about? So let's talk about the first thing, Arcade 1-Up Classic. So a while back, this was probably a month ago, we noticed, others noticed that these cabinets showed up on the Arcade 1-Up app. Now, for those of you who've been in the hobby for a while, this is no surprise. This is just a cabinet without a riser, But one thing we noticed that was different is there was no decal, coin door sticker on these, right? It didn't have the molded coin door. This is a different eye panel. The eye panel is located on the front of the panel, just below the control panel. And it's like the third generation cabinets. It's like the first generation cabinets. It lists out all the games, which is a little bit different. And then, so we saw that and we thought, well, okay, this is really no big deal. And really, it is no big deal. They've been doing this really since the very beginning. You just get a cab, no riser, nothing, here you go. But the fact that you're getting 14 games, that's definitely a huge upgrade from where they started with 3 and 6 games, or sometimes 4 or whatever. Definitely a huge upgrade. But what I'm finding that's really encouraging, what I'm thinking that this is them listening to us and actually giving us that low-cost option, something I think the majority of us have kind of said, hey, listen, why don't you retain this, is because they've really embraced it. So this email came out to all of us. If you're on their email list, you got this. Good Lord, I just get a million different emails from them. It's ridiculous. It's uncalled for. Absolutely uncalled for. But I guess they want to know if I've got my eye on something. This email came out. Nostalgia alert, the classic arcade collection is now available at Walmart. Like I said, this is not something radically new and different, but the way that they're embracing it and the way that they're sort of giving it a new category, they're calling it a classic, is, I think, encouraging. It is them leaning into this and say, listen, this is not just some knockoff thing that you kind of have to find yourself. This really wasn't on their main website, not really. Not these configurations, these updated legacy PCBs in this form factor. It really wasn't on the main website. Now they're embracing it and calling it a classic. And they're also keeping the price at $299. Now, what do you think about that? We'll talk about that in a second as far as the price point is concerned. But you can't deny that, I think now for that $299, you've never gotten more for your $299 than you are right now. So look over here on the right side. You're looking at the Bandai Namco Legacies. You got the Pac-Man, the Miss Pac-Man. Those are third gen. Those that's the first generation Legacies. They're not, or I'm sorry, the second generation Legacies, and they're fine. They have the molded coin door sticker on the front. They've got 12 games. But if you look over to your left, you have the current, and I say current because this is basically your deluxe cabinet with the riser section cut off. You have the same games list of 14. And then currently, the Capcom Legacy, that is the current cabinet that is out now because the other Capcom Deluxe has not come out yet. And you're getting the 14 games. You're getting all that for $299. You're getting the same controls and everything else. You're not getting a lit marquee, which, for some people could be a make or break. But for $299, when you consider that a current, even the Legacy Deluxes, the cheaper Deluxes are $499. So you're saving $200. Is a riser really worth that much? Well, maybe. It's just kind of an expensive riser for sure. But I thought that this was kind of encouraging. Okay, lean into it, embrace it, make it a thing. Don't make it a weird version that you can only find on Walmart if you know exactly what to look for. Embrace it, give it a category, call it its own thing. And this is your entry-level Arcade 1-Up. And like I said, for the most part, you've never gotten this much for that price point from them. So it's a good thing. You're not getting the lit marquee, sure, but you're getting the same controls. You're not getting the riser, okay, but you're getting the same side art. You're getting the same form factor. They're not regressing back to like a third gen form factor. You're getting the current form factor. And, it's whether you like it or not, some of this artwork is actually looks really good. I'm glad we're not getting the Mortal Kombat 1 artwork because it is, while I think it looks good, it's the first time that they did that. It is missing, Johnny Cage on the side. And for this setup, I don't know if that would be exactly accurate. Also, those cabinets didn't have a BOE monitor. we were stuck with a TN monitor. So I didn't like that. So I'm glad we're getting that. And if we're looking at this as that glass half full type episode, I think it's definitely a vast improvement. Here's a weird thing you need to, let's just consider this for a second. This, okay, I've been on record. I think this looks weird. This is weird. This is really, really weird. But we have to consider a couple things here. First off, it's $100 more than the other ones. Okay, man, that seems like, well, why? Why so much? Well, it is a newer game. It is a light gun game cabinet, so you've got some costs in those guns. It is $100 more. But if you really think about it, and this is funny, when you sit here and think about this, and I know it looks goofy and it was really short and all that, and the short jokes, haha, I get it. I'm 6'1", so I don't have to worry about that. I'm not as sensitive to the short jokes as other people maybe in the chat. So be sensitive, be kind to each other, be excellent to each other. If you consider, think about this. This cabinet is actually missing less than these cabinets. For these cabinets, it's actually missing less because the deluxe, the riser version, the riser diversion, and the deluxe also do not have lit marquees. So when you think about it, and it's kind of weird, especially when you consider the price point of the, you're talking about what, $599 for the new. Let me look that up. Yeah, the $599 for the new, the current deluxe version of this. $200 more. What are you paying for? You're paying for a riser, or in the deluxe form factor, you're paying for a longer side panel, a longer rear panel, a longer front panel, and a molded coin door. That's it. You don't even get a lit marquee. So this, while it does seem like it's like, why is it $100 more? Well, it actually is missing much less than your buck hunter, your standard buck hunter, whether it's had a riser or even the deluxe version. You're just missing the riser. That's it. You still don't have a lit marquee. So this is actually, it's really not bad. I think the savings, I think the money there is in proportion. So it's $100 more, but you're losing less. You're really saving $100. And if you really wanted to, you could go buy a $50 riser, or you could use another riser you have, or you could make a damn riser for much less. You could buy a piece of MDF 1/2 inch. You could buy a 2 foot by 4 foot piece, and that should get you, I think, almost all, if not most of the wood that would be required to make a riser. Or if you're rocking these, if you're just starting out and $299 is your sweet spot, and you want a small arcade, a short arcade, maybe you want to sit down and play all your games. RGT85 doesn't like the risers. He likes to have them sitting down, candy cab style. And when you're talking about candy cabs, I just happened to snap this picture today. I wanted to show you the comparison. When we talk about candy cabs, these, you sit them side by side. There's my little velvet covered stools, which are incredibly comfortable for gaming on the candy cab. I absolutely love it. But you can see the top of the top of the control panels are almost exactly the same height. Almost exactly. I wish that if you're going to try to use this sort of in a candy cab sit down type mode, if the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had a thinner control panel, it juts out, it's a little too thick. If it was a little bit thinner, like the candy cab on the right, it would absolutely be perfect. You could just slide your little your stool under there, your chair, and it would be absolutely perfect. So if this is the way you want a game, you're set up. If you like the candy cab form factor, if you like playing games in that way, it's not too shabby. And I really am. I don't think this is a bad price when you consider what you're missing. You're really just missing. You're just losing a riser. That's it. You're just losing a riser. And if you want a lit coin door, well, if you're building cabinets out like this, they don't have coin doors either. So you're kind of rocking the classic look, right? And these are all cabinets that, if you wanted to add a riser later, you could. If you wanted to get a molded coin door, you could head on over to Retro 530, and he's got a pretty sweet lit molded coin door that is exactly the same size as the RKO 1-Up coin doors. And you can slap that on there and you're good to go if you wanted to upgrade. And then if you want to get a lit marquee, and here's the thing about the big buck hunter, if you want a lit marquee, you're going to have to upgrade to that. I don't care which one you get the deluxe, you still need a lit marquee. If you get the risered version, you got to go buy the lit marquee. You got to go somewhere else and find that. So you're gonna be in for that cost no matter what you do. So I don't think that the $100 increase is really that bad when you consider that you're still $200 less than a deluxe cabinet. So this is really not a bad deal if you don't mind the size. But of course, when you're gonna go ahead and rock an elevation like this, if this is where your head's at, then you really probably at the end of the day you really don't care about a riser. Moving on to the next topic, got to keep it going. Funny. The game has only been 17 minutes. Nobody can lose a game in 17 minutes. Even the Cowboys can't lose a game in 17 minutes. And those comments are hurtful, and they sting, and they burn with the white hot intensity of 1,000 suns. And I would be ailing, I would be dying, I would be falling apart if it wasn't for the healing magic of a super chat. 199 super chat. This one comes to us from Making Circles. Thank you so much for your super chat. Healing the wounds left by the evil Michael B. Canadians. Am I right? Yeah. What's up, Fox? Happy Sunday. Thank you so much. Cheers to you. Gotta love it. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really do appreciate it. Going to give you something a little bit special. I'm going to go ahead and give you this right here. Here you go.
Perfect.
It's actually, sorry, not belated if it's the 6th. No, it's actually the 14th. My birthday is the 14th. And I will be a spry 47. 40, it's like it's 47. It's not a milestone at all. I got to think of some kind of cool tie-in to 47. It feels sort of lame. It feels like it's just sort of fine is what it is. But you know what makes it feel special? Just a little bit more special. Another super chat. This one's $2 coming to us again from Janine Harris. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Happy birthday week to me, 9/16. Her birthday. See, this is how giving this community is. It's her birthday, and she's giving me a super chat. This is reversed. I owe you a super chat. Start a channel so I can pay you back. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really do appreciate you. And you know what? Let me see if we can't find you another femme fatale. Ooh, look out. She's got some thighs. Evil Chun-Li just doesn't seem right. It seems off somehow. But you know what does seem right? You know what doesn't seem off at all? It's a good Canadian trying to cancel out a bad Canadian. This one comes to us, a $2.79 Canadian super chat from Rights Retro K. Thank you so much for your super chat. That BBH Big Buck Hunter would be great if you. It's actually, listen, okay. All right. This is actually not a bad idea. You could do a French cleat. I thought about this. You could take one of these cabinets, okay? You and I you're on the same page. You could take a French cleat bracket. For those of you who don't know, French cleats are basically just opposing 45s. You could take a French cleat and you could actually make this. You could take a 6-inch piece or maybe an 8-inch piece of MDF or whatever, rip it on your table, your table saw at a 45 right dead center, and you have a 4-inch piece and a 4-inch piece. You could take this and screw one piece to the wall and then take the other piece and mount it to the back of the arcade, and you could mount this son of a gun right on the wall. And if you've got an outlet nearby, I mean, think about it, it's the most elaborate partycade ever. I like where your head's at. Thank you so much for your $2.79 super chat. An odd amount, $2.79. Really do appreciate it, buddy. And you know what? Here you go.
Finish him. Scorpion wins. Fatality.
Yeah. It is special. I'm special. When my mom said that, didn't have the same impact. Okay, so moving on. The next topic, we're going to talk about collab cabs. Used to be a dirty word, just an evil phrase. When you heard the mention of a collab cab from Arcade 1-Up, you immediately thought of garbage, just nonsense. A $100 adder to a cabinet that was already okay until you destroyed it with ridiculous artwork. The only saving grace, the bright shining star from all of this was that Kith cab. That collaboration between Kith, Arcade 1-Up, and the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cab. It had some pretty sick artwork. Not bad. The price was incredibly stupid. It was crazy. So usually when you hear about collab cabs, you think, what a waste. That's a cabinet that, they could have made, for regular price, whatever. And then we saw this. I know. We talked about this last week. I agree. This is not arcade accurate. Michael B., don't give me a hard time. I'm not changing my stance on that. But I did say at the time that this collab cab is the gateway drug, I think, for Arcade 1-Up. This is the collab cab that suggests to me that the leaked list that we had last week, we talked about it. They were talking about the Cowabunga collection. This is the cab that told me, okay, you know what? Because we're getting stuff like this, it's possible. I think it is possible that a Cowabunga collection could actually happen because of the Atari 50th. Because what do you have? You have a collection that was available on multiple platforms in just all over the place. Atari 50th it spawned all kind of products. But the Atari 50th collection game itself was on multiple platforms, and it was everywhere. Arcade 1-Up was a year late. But it was a collaboration that, to me, at least made some sense. Now, there were console games on an arcade machine, which I hate. But within this context, you still had like 14 arcade games, and then you had 50 console games. And to me, that was reason enough to say, okay, the Cowabunga collection is probably going to happen, right? Look at the 50th. Look what they did. And I don't hate that. Because at least, for God's sakes, you're partnering with a video game company to collab, right? That's the collaboration I want. And here's the kicker. $4.99. We didn't see a ridiculous price hike. We didn't see an Atari tax on this thing where they added $100 just because it was Atari. No, they didn't. You get that sick gold T-molding that the solid gold dancers are coming out. This is the Soul Train and the Atari 50 graphics and stuff going on, lit buttons and all that. And it was still $4.99. The artwork might be off-putting for some, but I think that this is the reason why the Cowabunga collection is probably going to happen. But then you get to thinking, what if there's other collaborations they could do, other collections out there that they could bring to an Arcade 1-Up, and immediately your mind is probably filled with horrible ideas. Like, oh, that would be bad. They would do this, they would do that. But what if this was a way for us to get some games, arcade games, that we couldn't normally get or we wouldn't usually get? Maybe Capcom won't give up this one particular game. But if it was part of a collection, like a Capcom fighting collection, maybe perhaps we could get our hands on some actual arcade games from back in the day that have never been released until now. This is one example of a collection that, what if they collabed with Capcom, again, and said, hey, listen, we want to bring your fighting collection, a game that was available on multiple platforms. We want to make a physical cabinet of it, and we want to bring it to our customers, and we want to shine a light on the fighting collection and the fact that it's out there. And that's okay. Well, Fox, that's fine. But what would we possibly gain by that? What the hell? Another Capcom fighting collection? Well, think about this. If you think about the games that are on here, at first it may not be that impressive. Oh, we got a Street Fighter. Oh, we got Puzzle Fighter. We've seen these games from Arcade 1-Up before. Darkstalkers. Okay, great. Fine, whatever. I'm a big fan of Darkstalkers. I like the series. But if you look close enough, you're going to see some games on here that were never released. So let's just look at the games that never saw a Arcade 1-Up release, like Gem Fighter. There's a game out there. These are the little cartoonish version. Well, I guess they're all called cartoons, but the child versions of Street Fighter characters that you see in Puzzle Fighter are actually in this game fighting each other. It's Super Gem Fighter. So there's a game that we haven't seen from Arcade 1-Up, but it got multiple home releases. Let's talk about some games that never got an official release in America, like Vampire Hunter 2 and Vampire Savior 2. These are two games that never got a release. They're obviously very similar to the other Darkstalker games with the removal of some characters, but basically this is a way to get these two games that we never would have gotten before in an arcade machine. Pretty cool. But the thing that I'm really excited about, and by the way, this is a pretty good list overall. Looking at all the fighters, not a bad list. You got a puzzle game in there, Cyberbots is really, really fun. But the thing that really gets me excited about this collection is this is the first time that Red Earth ever got a home release, and this would be a Red Earth CPS3 game that we could see on an arcade one-up cabinet. And that's awesome. That is great. Now, if we got to rebuy some games that we've already bought before, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not saying I like it, but if they had to collab with Capcom and they came out with a Capcom Fighting Collection cabinet, you're going to get this artwork. It's not going to be, maybe it's not going to be super arcade accurate, well, it's not going to be super arcade accurate because there was never a Capcom Fighting Collection arcade game, but all these games were in the arcades. Is it possible that we could see some kind of collaboration with Capcom or other companies to bring us some stuff like this? And these games are no slouch. These games are pretty cool. And the fact that you could actually, out of this collection here, there's 4 games that we, A, have never seen on Arcade 1-Up, and B, have never seen in the US. They never got a home release. That's pretty awesome. But Capcom, of which I may be a fanboy, guilty as charged, there's other companies out there that have actually made collections, that we could maybe take a look at. Hold your applause. I know this will be incredibly exciting. What you've got here is something that came out a while. This is probably last year, I think. Another 50th anniversary, the Konami collections. Imagine a collaboration with Konami to bring us a Contra anniversary collection cab and the Arcade Classics collection cab. Probably going to be 2 separate cabs. Castlevania is not going to happen because there's no Castlevania arcade games. Sorry, Castlevania fans, but these are 2 examples right here of some cabinets that, listen, maybe Konami is not going to be willing to let Arcade 1-Up take a game here and a game there. But what if they would be open to taking a collection that they already have? They've released this digital, they've released this physical, and they think that maybe they've gotten all the money they can, they've gotten all the mileage they can out of these anniversary collections. But what if Arcade 1-Up says, you know what, we are the king of next year. We're the king of 1 year late, but we're still here. We're late to the party, but we're here. What if they came to Konami and said, listen, we're trying to improve our relationship with you. What if we collaborated with you, much like we did Atari and Capcom, and brought you this? We want to bring our customers the Contra collection. There's 3 or 4 arcade games on that cabinet. Come on, talk to me, people. Talk to me. I think you had the Contra 1 and 2 versions, Contra and Super Contra, and then you had the Proto Cell, the Proto something, a Proto Gene. I forget what it's called. It's the like the UK version, the PAL version of Contra. But it was, that was pretty cool. And you're going to have to, stomach some console Contra games, but it will be a way to get some arcade games on an arcade cabinet from Arcade 1-Up that maybe they would not. Yes, thank you. Probotector. That's right. Probotector. Thank you. Thank you, Frank D, for correcting me. Because I just had a brain fart. This way you get now, I think that Contra on the NES is better than Contra the arcade version, but I still want the Contra arcade version in a Contra cabinet themed with the anniversary collection. I think that would be sick. Arcade 1-Up, please tell me you're watching this stream. Make this happen. Come on. And then the Arcade Classics collection is another collection they should absolutely come out with for sure. Tons of arcade classics there. But that's not the only company that is into the collection publishing. There we go. Let's go with that. SNK, one of my favorite. Metal Slug, absolutely love. Greatest beat 'em up series of all time. I don't know. Series. AVP, come on. That's still number 1. But the Metal Slug games are incredible. The Sengoku collections are also just awesome, very fun. And of course, the bazillion different Neo Geo games. We've seen a lot of stuff going on. We've seen the 50 games that they had on the MVSX MVSX from Unico. But listen, maybe they can't just pick and choose, certain Neo Geo games. SNK ain't gonna give it up. But listen, what if they went to them and this is the gateway drug? Hey, listen, we want to make a collaboration cab with you, SNK, Neo Geo. We will bow to your feet if you can let us work with you and bring to our customers the Samurai Showdown Neo Geo collection. I know it's just Samurai Showdown games, but it would be sick. It would be sick. Yes, I see you in the chat. Just the amount of SNK games that are just absolute classics are awesome. But instead of having a multicade of Neo Geos, which maybe we would love, and I think I'd probably love it too. Maybe this is how they do that. Maybe this is the way they partner and get a license and build a relationship with SNK and just offer their Neo Geo collections that already exist and bring them to the market the way they are now. I mean, I think this would be awesome. I think it would be awesome. Do I really want to sit here and buy 5 different Neo Geo cabinets? Maybe not. But, if they're $4.99, like some of the other collaborations we've seen, I'm not saying that I'm not above maybe buying 2. Moving right along, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And this is a fun time. I'm actually having a lot of fun here. When you think about potentially how some of this stuff could go, we could really be looking at some awesome stuff on the horizon from not just RK1UP, but we got to remember there are other companies out there that are doing great things that are maybe, hopefully, possibly trying to compete with RK1UP. And at the end of the day, if there's somebody out there that's going to try to compete with RK1UP and bring something similar or something different to the table, then I think at the end of the day, we all win. And you know what else makes you feel like a winner? A super chat. Another one. This one coming to us from Rights Retrocade 279. Thank you so much for your super chat. Castlevania was released in the red head-to-heads. Okay. But would that be a Nintendo thing? I don't know if they could get away with that, but I got to tell you, I kind of love the idea.
Let's go. Wolverine win. Rookie.
When great advice is given, you have to recognize it and you must heed it. My brother Snowdub's in the chat saying, listen, peeps, what are you doing? Smash the like button. It's the right thing to do. So we talk about what's going on. We talk about some of the potential, some of the cool stuff that's going on. Let's talk about what they're doing right now. And let's talk about what I think should actually become the standard 3/4 scale cabinet. So everybody knows I'm a unapologetic Capcom fanboy. It's fine. I've been diagnosed with the Capcom disease. I'm working on a cure. I'm consulting a doctor, Bruce Banner. He's going to help me out. I think we're making some progress. Got hell of a temper, that guy, though. Here is the upcoming Capcom Legacy Cabinet, Deluxe Legacy. This thing looks good. Looks pretty plain, though, doesn't it? And I think that is exactly why it should become the standard moving forward. So what are we talking about here? The shape is kind of weird. What's going on? So what's going on with this cabinet is they're trying to mimic, and pretty successfully, the HS5 form factor from the Dynamo arcade cabinet company. This is not a Capcom product or a Konami product or anything. This is not some direct tie-in with a singular publishing company. This is a cabinet making company that made generic cabinets and you put your guts inside of it, right? And it was awesome. This is the overall shape. Now, before we move on, I want to really just kind of focus on some of the reasons why I think this is awesome. Side panels look good. Okay. For the most part, this is pretty much standard RK1UP stuff. The big improvement, and I know we saw this, and I know that at Fighters Evo, and I know that there was some color discolorations, like the colors didn't quite match. I'm talking about that plastic nose piece on the front. That graphic didn't necessarily match perfectly with the control panel, and that could be an issue. But the thing I love about that little plastic piece is not only that it mimics the Dynamo HS5, and that's fine. The fact that it's an extension, it's a Knight Rider plastic nose, and it extends out, and it's going to give your palms more real estate to rest on. I think this could be the best thing that ever happened to RK1UP cabinets, period. period, because of the extension, because of the added real estate this creates. This is a great thing. This is absolutely awesome. But why should this become the standard? Well, first off, another thing I really love about this, look at the side art. This was what we saw on the arcades. After we moved away from some of the very specific cabinet shapes that were very specific to certain companies, SNK, Big Red SNKs, Big Blue, Capcom cabinets, and of course all the other elaborate cabinets that came out in various shapes and sizes that were very, very much synonymous with a game publisher. This was something that was very generic, but it was a pretty cool shape, and a lot of people liked it. There were many, many other cabinets that came. Let me see. There we go. So many other games came in the exact same cabinet, and it really was just a matter of different decals for your control panel, a different bezel around the monitor, and then a different marquee, and then the side art. And this is the kicker: the side art that you had to cover, you just had a square. Usually, it was just a square. Now, some of the you see this Tekken cabinet had a pretty elaborate sticker on the side, but if you look at the Neo Geo cabinet, it was just a small little sticker up top, and this is what you're going to see with this Capcom Deluxe right here. A little bitty Street Fighter logo up top, easily coverable, if that's a word. You can easily cover that up with a small graphic. So you don't have to necessarily go to some online vinyl graphics supplier and spend $200 on an entire wrap kit. It's really not necessary. The side art is going to be super easy. You can even make something just square. You could even, honestly, you could just get black vinyl and just cover that up and just leave it completely black. The T molding is also black. It leaves it sort of generic. You could really put any game in here, it's fine. You can swap out PCBs. RK1UP could just swap out PCBs and use very small side art on the side. And then all they would have to do is change out, obviously, the bezel to match whatever game they put in here. And then the marquee. Control panels are control panels. They're made for, you get Mortal Kombat. You can have obviously 6-button beat 'em ups here. Look at they even had Area 51 in this cabinet. You could make shooters out of this. I'm thinking this is where my head's at. For 3/4 scale cabinets, if you want to keep in, listen, I want to see the $499 price point stay exactly where it is. If you want to have a category of cabinet that is not cutting edge, like I guess Time Crisis would be considered that, it's $749. If you want to keep that cost down low, why don't you just keep pumping out this cabinet, but put different games in it? We got to build a new control panel anyway. What the hell are you doing? Just make this cabinet with slightly different artwork, and away you go. And this is just the standard. It's the same shape. We saw them do this in the past with all these other with all these other cabinets, with the exception of Namco. Namco gets their own style. But for the most part, everybody else, especially when you're talking about the Legacy line, it was the same exact cabinet shape. They just went with different art styles. And they've been swapping it around, and all that's been fine. But one of the big complaints is that you're not getting an authentic cabinet, right? Okay, well, if you do something generic like that the first generation Legacies, you got this weird collaboration of different stuff. But if you look at this, you could put everything in the same cabinet. I don't care if it's Neo Geo. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Mortal Kombat. And you are technically arcade accurate because you're using a cabinet that was widely used in the arcades at the time. Some people don't even know that some of these cabinets, that this is not a stock cabinet for this specific for this game. Some people don't know that this is just a generic cabinet that all games came in. A lot of people still have a memory of a game, and the cabinet that they played it on was the HS5. Right there. My Raiden cabinet. I remembered the Dynamo HS5 because of Raiden. I played the game. I love the game. And I just so happened to be playing the game on an HS5. And then that's why I had to get this cabinet. I had to make this cabinet. I had to find an HS5. And then I had to put that game in that cabinet because that is my memory. That was my nostalgia. So a lot of people are not going to care necessarily if you get a different game and put it in the same exact cabinet. So to keep the cost down, I say that's what you do. You rock that. So, I love to do this. It's one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite things. It's coming up with a lineup. It's coming up with a list. Where would we be? What would this product line look like? Well, here you go, kids. Check it out. Here is potentially where we could be, right? It may not be the most ideal list. I understand that. It may not be the most, some of you just want XLs. I get you. I got you. I feel you. Right there with you. But this is what you could have. This is actually what you could have. Check it out. You can have your classic, which we have some of this, right? But this should be and could be the layout. You can have your classic cabs, your entry-level cabs. They look just like this, $299. Boom, here you go. You could have a standard cab. It looks exactly like this. It is a dynamo shape, and they put every single legacy, whatever, with the exception of Namco, because they got to be special. But the majority of games are going to go into a standard cab. And this is how they could test the waters. Think about it. This is how they could test the water. They could say, well, we're not sure exactly if this game is going to work. Fine. Put it in a standard cab. We got a bazillion of them out there. They're just shells waiting for a PCB and artwork. That's it. So you could, if you're not sure, put it in a standard cab. It's $499. The cost of making this would be so, especially economies of scale. You got a bazillion of these out there. You got a warehouse full of empty shells ready to go because it's a standard cab. No problem. No problem. Put a game in there. And if it takes off, well, maybe it graduates. Maybe it moves up a list. So let's go back to this. Here we go. Let's go back to what we're looking at here. So we have $499 would be your standard cabinet. Okay. Collab cabs should remain at $499. If you're going to collaborate, you can use a different style if you want, or you can use the standard cab style or whatever, but you stay at the $499. Now, obviously the collaboration is going to be specific to the manufacturer, to the publisher, to whatever the collection is. So the artwork is going to be very specific to that, but you keep your costs low. You keep maybe the same shape as a standard or whatever, but you keep that price point at $499. And I'm telling you, people will buy them up. All you got to do is have a few arcade games on there, a few arcade ROMs. I know I may sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I think that this could be the only way we can get some of these arcade games. I think if these publishers won't let them go, well, this is how you get them. This is how you get them. Okay, so moving on from collab, we have deluxe, which would be the deluxe with the newest version. So the deluxe with the guns, the deluxe, Time Crisis, the deluxe whatever, the deluxe driving cabs. They're $599 because maybe there's a little more R&D. They're going to be a knockoff. They're going to be like a one-off, something special, something different. Okay, I'm okay with a $100 price increase. That's fine. What? Oh, geez. You see what I did? $649. That's not the price I want. I messed up my own slide. Damn it, Fox. What are you thinking? This is not what I wanted for the XL pricing. The XL pricing should be $599. So ignore this part of the slide. Damn it. I will beat myself with the strap later. But at $599, you have your deluxes, which is going to be deluxe special, whatever you want to call them. The actual deluxe is the only cabinet that has a deluxe name is actually the newest versions, the newest games. Deluxe is $599, and then your XL is also $599. That's it. That's it. What's wrong with that? You have a nice, tight little product line. Everything makes sense. $599 for XLs, which some of those could be rehashes, but an XL is $599. An XL is also $599 is a deluxe, which is something a little bit different, something a little more radical, a very special control scheme, something like that. $499 is going to give you your standard cabs. Your standard cabs should be that dynamo shape, and you're done. Put everything everything that you can, you put it in there. And if it won't fit, if it's a little bit awkward, if it's a little bit different, well, it becomes a deluxe for $100 more. Collab cabs can still be there. If that's what we have to do to get some of these arcade games, I'm fine with it. I'll let it go. It is what it is. And then we could get some cool, some decent cabs. And then, of course, you're going to have, your classics right there at $299. Is it possible? I think so. I think it is. And listen, at the end of the day, I think if this gets us more games, these are small concessions. These are little things that I think that these are small caveats that I know that we could probably stomach, and we could end up getting some pretty cool stuff. So with all that being said, is Is there a bright spot? Is there hope on the horizon? Is there something new moving forward? I think that there is. And the biggest thing, the biggest reason why I have some hope and I'm excited about what's going on and I'm looking forward to what's coming out for home arcades is that Arcade1Up is not the only player in this space. And it's not just the companies that you know. There are companies behind the scenes doing things. Yeah, I heard some stuff. I heard this, I heard that. I've been talking, rumors, all that. But I think there's some real movement going on. Why else would GameStop be coming out with some generic cabinet at $599? Maybe it's because they see some money to be made there. They see a new competitive space. We talked about this before. We're running out of physical things to buy. It's all digital. It's all downloads. You buy one console and then everything's digital. I don't think that is going to really satisfy a lot of these corporate bottom lines. They got to have something physical to sell. And they know that there is a demand for this stuff. Arcade1Up has occupied this space, this position for quite some time. And they've enjoyed the spotlight for a while. But, like all good things, sometimes they come to an end. Oh, would you look at that?
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
It is once again time to go ahead and wrap it up. But before we do, we're going to take a look at the poll question. Take a look at, not at my poll, not at your poll, the poll question in the chat. So here was the question, 215 votes, and the Cowboys are playing. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much, everybody, for voting in the poll. Really appreciate it. Glad we broke 200. I was sweating it. I didn't know, but you came through. As always, why do I ever doubt you? Coming in at, so let's go ahead and just real quick, if you want to get your last votes in real quick, the question was, what should the entry-level Arcade1Up be? You had 4 choices. $599 XLs, no more 3/4. That was 1. $599 Deluxe, $499 Legacy Deluxe, or $299 Classic. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll now, and I don't think too many of you are going to be surprised by this. Where is it? Come on, there we go. So here we go. So coming in at 4th place is the $599 Deluxe with only 5% of the vote. Everybody says, oh yeah, let's start with the $599 Deluxe. I don't think the $599 Deluxe is getting a lot of love, but that's curious. Coming in 3rd place is going to be the $499 Legacy Deluxe. Let's start. And I thought this would be the number 2 or number 1. I really thought that maybe people thought that we should just start with the $499 Deluxe, but that's not the case. Okay, so coming in at number 2, I'm sorry, and the $499 Legacy, that was 25% of the vote. Coming in with 27% of the vote, drum roll please, was the $599 XL. Not bad. 27% say, you know what, we're done with 3/4. Just give us XL. But coming in at number 1 with 41% of the vote, and not a huge surprise, is going to be that $299 Classic. I say Arcade1Up, you got to keep it. You got a winner on your hands. Keep it going. Keep the Classic going. $299, that price point, that form factor seems to be working. Don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. I see what you're doing with the Buck Hunter, $100 more. Keep that cost as low as possible and still give everybody that experience for sure. I think people want it. I think people absolutely want it. And come on. Let's keep the good mojo going, because I think that if you can balance this thing out, we can maybe overlook the $749 Time Crisis, which just to let you know, I'm not buying Time Crisis at $749. But if you keep these cabinets out here at $299, that's not too bad. It's not too shabby. One more thing I wanted to share with you before we go. This is a little extra teaser here. Something that I just I did a community post. There it is. I did a community post. I wanted to share this with you. This is pretty cool. I love when this happens. Absolutely love when this happens. When Dbrand is becoming probably my favorite company. This is of all time. I love the way they just they just poke Sony right in the eye. I posted this picture. If you go to Dbrand, if you have a PS5, you saw that the Spider-Man, console came out, the console covers came out, and the controller came out, and they were bought up quickly. You can find them on eBay for 2 to 3 times what they were actually selling them for, and it's really it sucks. Here we go. Scalpers win again. Sony's been in the game since 1999. I'm sorry, 1995, 94, 95. And they still haven't got this right. They keep coming out with this stuff and they don't make enough of it. And it creates this secondary market, which is just stupid. And I hate it. So Dbrand decided, let's go ahead and let's capitalize on this. And let's go with the Arachno plates. They're really being careful because Sony sued them. If you don't know, Sony sued Dbrand because it came out with side plates, console covers before Sony did. And I absolutely love the description of the product. It says the popular video game console maker, Megacorp, failed to produce enough stock of their licensed video game side panels. Thanks for dropping the ball, you series of expletives. I absolutely love it when they do this to Sony. Just stick them in the eye, poke them in the eye. It's fine. But what you're getting here, if you look at this is the up close and personal look at this. They're obviously trying to simulate the Spider-Man web and the symbiote look without getting sued, right? And they're incorporating this design in their stock side plates that they've changed the overall shape of the arcade, not the arcade, the console. It doesn't flare up at the very top. It's rounded. It matches the center portion. And then they have this grill in the middle, and that's where you see this grill right there. You see that grill? That is the intake of the fan, and this webbing and symbiote-ish looking stuff looks really, really cool. I love the fact that it is on one side. I wish it was on both, but it's on one side plate. But they include the sticker if you decide you want to buy it for the center section that really continues that look on. And this, I think, to me, it's not as subtle as the official PlayStation version, and I dig it. I actually like this a lot more than what Sony did. Sony just they went super conservative. Now, if you come over here and you see what's the price, Fox? What is this? If you get the middle skin, which is a decal, that's $15. And what you can do is they actually include these translucent strips that will change the color of the PlayStation 5 Lite. You click on that, and what you're going to pay is $89. And this is I want you to know this is also a pre-order version. So you got to pre-order this. So these won't ship till October. And you can also switch between disc version and the digital version. So you can switch between these. Same price, but you can select either version. So I thought that was pretty cool. I absolutely love it when Dbrand does this. They just smack Sony upside the head. And I think it's cool. And yes, I pre-ordered a set of these. I'm going to be doing a video of that, an unboxing, and I want to show that off because I think that's going to look absolutely stellar. It's going to be absolutely cool. We do have some. Yeah, thank you so much, Snowdub, my brother. Always in the chat, doing what he can to help out the cause. There's merch, and there's some new merch. There's absolutely some new merch. Let's go ahead and go to real quick. I'm going to pimp my stuff. Hope you don't mind. But I got to pimp the channel swag as much as I possibly can. Let me go ahead and click that. Let's go ahead and share this. Okay, let's share screen. Boom! Here you go. Check it out, kids. So over on the let me go ahead and kill that. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you, man. If you go over to the 19K Fox Teespring store, the link for that will be if you go to the About tab on this channel, you'll find it. I got some new styles, some new designs, some new stuff going on. This is a collaboration. It's a collab cap. It's a collab T-shirt of all my projects. Let's see if I can. There you go. I just took all the designs and put them on one T-shirt, so you don't have to pick between, the AVP or whatever. And I also included a T-shirt design that I never came out with, and it was my 3-player Rampage cab down here in the bottom right-hand corner. I never made a T-shirt of that. I didn't think it would sell. But if you want that, you can get that on here. Project 6-Men, Project GT7, and then of course AVP, and then the Rampage cabinet is there. So we got that. I went ahead by popular demand. I made this available in hoodie. So if you want one, check it out. I do have decals, stickers. I do have women T-shirts for women now. I didn't have a lot of those, but there you go. Got that. And then of course I got the hats. I have the hats. Finally, I was so excited to get the hats. I showed this one off here. Give you 1 second. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. The other hat has come in, and here it is. So we got the white. If you like the white trucker, with the white 19K Fox. This color is navy. And then if you want to rock the classic, if you want to rock the black, then this is what that looks like there. Let me go ahead and stop sharing. There we go. If you want to rock the black with the classic 19K Fox, orange and green, you can throw this guy backwards. You have that option. So there it is. If you're interested in helping out the channel, and then getting something for yourself. I don't make a ton of money on this stuff. I really just like designing it. It's kind of fun. I just like, having something that's, got my logo on it. Pretty cool. So, last but not least, everybody, I can't wait to see you in Cleveland. I'm going to talk to the guys, and I think we're going to try to do a live stream. I don't know on whose channel yet. I'm going to try to get it on mine. But I want to get everybody together and talk about the plans for Cleveland and the Cleveland Gaming Classic, what our schedule is going to be. We had a great time last year. We want to meet up with as many of you as possible. So we're going to be going to a couple different places, checking out some stuff. We're not just going to be at the Gaming Classic. We're going to be going to other places, hanging out at local arcade bars, maybe going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, maybe the Football Hall of Fame. Who knows? We are going to be going to the it's not the Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Guardians game Thursday night. So Michael B has broadcast that out there. If you want to see us there, check that out. But yeah, I'm excited. September is my birthday month, and also it's a fun month because I get to hang out with these guys and see, hopefully, just a ton of you. So everybody, thank you so much for stopping by, checking out the channel. I'm gonna go watch the Cowboys lose. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will see all of you next time. Peace.